So fraud has been really at the lowest point that it's ever been at in history with mortgages until recently. And one specific category that is rising exponentially is occupancy certification, or more so occupancy fraud. So this was a notice, and I'll post a better picture of it here shortly, but this was an occupancy cert that was left on a client's front door, literally taped to the front door, just like you would find any other notice from a mortgage company. Hopefully you're not at that point. An inspector just stopped by to verify, is this going to be an actual primary residence, and checking identification to see if the said occupant is living there that matches the note or the loan estimate. This is a real thing. So I've done this business now 15 years. I've done hundreds of loans. I've not actually seen or held an occupancy certification in person. I've heard about them and I've discussed them with my clients, but I've not actually seen one. And we're likely going to see these more often than not as we go into a further economic downturn. As the economy gets a little bit worse and essentially economic conditions get more stressed, whether it's fraud for gain, fraud for profit, fraud for housing, there's going to be more fraud on the rise. Now, as loan officers, we're not really allowed to go ahead and call you, flat out. We say, or we disagree, or we dispute what you're stating on the application is true. But we have many methods to go ahead and verify: are you really going to live at this property? What's your driver's license address on it? Do you live in the same city and state within 50 miles? What tax returns addresses are showing? What's your residential history? Have things been changed recently on the insurance policy if you have additional rental policies on other houses? We look at these things to verify, is the occupancy valid and actually correct? But nonetheless, the point is if you ever had a thought to try and do occupancy fraud, please don't. It makes us lose more hair. I've already been a casualty of that war. But nonetheless, it is not something that is allowed, and we will verify, and we have our ways and methods to go ahead and verify that. I've only shared a couple. The point is that occupancy fraud is on the rise, and it is the highest fraud category that has seen a rise in servicing. Typically, mortgage servicing is who sees it first because they are the ones dealing with the foreclosure and the loss mitigation. And then that's when the seller policy and or the underwriting guidelines get updated and changed for us on the front end. In any case, just wanted to share this with you so that way you guys can see what it looks like, and we'll keep you updated with anything else that comes across the desk.